a lot in sports, so much so that it's become a cliche, but to be able to pull off what Jay Cutler just did, in fact, what all these athletes just do, requires a ton of focus, and that's all you'll see backstage. It's incredible. All right. Our next competitor, whether you see him on the street or see him at Gold's Gym in Venice, California, I really believe he's one of the true ambassadors of the sport of bodybuilding. This will be his 10th Mr. Olympia appearance, second only to Ronnie Coleman. He qualified by placing second this year at the Dutch Grand Prix. He placed second at last year's Arnold Classic. You know who he is, the real deal, Chris Cormier.
Well, Dan, when you're talking about guys that bring it to the stage, this guy right here, he enjoys what he does.
And he's done it over and over again. In fact, Mike Adamley just pointed out that this is his 10th Olympia appearance. However, this might blow you away. This is Chris Cormier's 70th professional event.
He likes what he does. That's clear by the number of shows he competes in. They call him the real deal. This guy's been second 5 consecutive years at the Arnold Classic. This is his 10th Olympia. Ironically, this guy's only been able to bust the top 5 in 2 of those attempts. Dan, is this the same Chris Cormier we saw back in March?
Unfortunately for Chris, this afternoon of prejudging, he showed up carrying some water. I do not think this is going to be the year that Chris climbs atop the food chain. He's certainly not going to make his way into that top 6. At least that's the way the call-outs seem to play out. His best pose is his abdominal and thigh shot. We talked earlier about some of the strengths and some of the guys and some of the weaknesses, but for Chris Cormier, he really has no weakness.
Well, I think the only weakness that I can relate to is a mental weakness. This is the Olympia. You got to bring it every single year. And with 10 tries at this show, only 2 top 5 placements, something's getting lost. I'm not sure if he needs to sit out that Arnold Classic and save up for the Olympia, the biggest show on earth, to really give Ronnie and Jay a run for their money. But you know what? If you're going to peak in March and you're going to miss your peak in October, the Olympia is a contest you might want to pass on. But I think this guy wants to be Mr. Olympia. So I think he might want to sit out that Arnold Classic, get serious about the Olympia, and break into that top 3 and do some damage.
Hey, why don't you give me one of those Chris Cormiers?
Well, for Chris, he's won pretty much everything there is to win in professional bodybuilding. Unfortunately for him, he's more known for the shows that he has not won. And of course, he's finished runner-up at the Arnold Classic 6 consecutive years. And he hasn't reached the pinnacle of this show either.
Well, you got guys like Ronnie and Jay focusing on the Mr. Olympia. It's not a party for them. They're here to pick up that first place. But more importantly, Dan, they want to hang on to that Sandow trophy. Jay's trying to get it from Ronnie. Ronnie's trying to hang on from it. Chris, with all the genetics, is cruising into these contests, I believe. I just think that his focus has got to get more serious.